r/rules horror. Posted by u/mellyfar_I. The House of Three Rooms. You entered the House of Three Rooms with no windows anywhere. You cannot go back out the same way you came in, as the door would be sealed shut upon you entering. Follow the below instructions exactly as they are outlined. 1. If you open the door to the first room and it's a bedroom, do not enter the second room. Enter the first room. 1a. If there is a woman laying on the bed. 1ai. If she is crying, take off your left footwear and exit walking backwards. If you take off your right footwear and or turn your back on her, she will follow you and you will hear her crying at night for the rest of your life. 1-2. If she is smiling or laughing, sit at the foot of the bed with your back to her and say aloud, "All is well, mon chéri." After saying this, count to 3, stand up and turn to look at the bed. She should be gone. If you did not follow this sequence, you will be infected with the laughing sickness. 1-3. If she is not crying, laughing or smiling, look into the mirror straight ahead of you. Do not look at her again. Apologize once, close your eyes and exit the room backwards with your eyes closed. Failure to do this will result in you suffering from dripping sores that will appear daily, that cannot be healed. 1b. If there is a child laying on the bed. 1bi. If it is not sleeping, take off your right footwear and exit walking backwards. If you take off your left footwear and or turn your back on it, you will be unable to sleep because you will be haunted by this child in your dreams until you die of sleep deprivation. 1b2. If it is sleeping, walk straight to the bed and cover it from feet to chin with the white blanket at the foot of the bed. If the blanket is any color or pattern other than white, drop to your knees, close your eyes and say "Sleep child" 4 times. If you cover the child with the miscolored blanket and or do not drop to your knees and say the words, the child will sleep next to you for the rest of your life, whether day or night, and you will be uneasy. 1c. If there is a man laying on the bed. 1ci. If he is reading, sit at the foot of the bed with your back turned to him and listen to what he is reading carefully. 1cii. If he says "In the rain stopped," immediately stand up and exit the room, closing the door behind you. If you do not do this quickly enough or leave the door open, you will die of dehydration no matter how much water you drink. 1ci2. If he says "And the rain continued to fall," immediately stand up and exit the room, leaving the door open. If you do not do this quickly enough or close the door, you will eventually and inevitably die by drowning somehow. 1ci3. If he says nothing about rain, wait until he stops reading. Stand up slowly, say "I enjoyed the story" and leave the room. You are safe. 1c2. If he is not reading, say aloud "I'm sorry you could not find your book," spin around 2 times in the place you are standing and exit the room. If you do not say the words or spin the required amount of times before exiting the room, you will be eaten from the inside out by parasites within an hour. 1d. If the bed is empty, take off both of your footwear, lay face up with your arms crossed over your chest. Close your eyes and stay till morning. Then you can leave. Failure to follow this procedure will result in paralysis until your untimely demise from either malnutrition, dehydration or sleep deprivation. 1e. If the bed is not empty and it is not a woman, child or man laying on the bed, the room is occupied. Immediately leave the room, closing the door behind you. If you do not leave the room immediately, you will feel eyes on you for the rest of your life, whether asleep or awake. 2. If you enter the first room and it is not a bedroom. 2a. Close the door and enter the second room. 2ai. If there is an old woman in the room, take off your footwear and sit on the spot. Say "I like visiting grandmother" and count to 5 in your head. If she disappears, you are safe and you can leave this room. If she doesn't, when you leave this place, you will grow old by the minute and die eventually. 2a2. If there is an old man in the room, keep on your footwear and sit on the spot. Say "I prefer visiting grandfather" and count to 7 in your head. If he disappears, you are safe and you can leave this room. If he doesn't, when you leave this place, you will not be able to breathe while standing for the rest of your days. 2a3. If the room is completely empty, take off your footwear but do not sit on the spot. Say "I like my grandparents" and count to 4 in your head. You are safe and you can leave this room. 2a4. If there is neither an old woman nor old man in the room and it is not empty, leave on your footwear and sit on the spot cross-legged. Say "I like silence" and count to 9 in your head. After doing this, you are safe and you can leave this room. If you do not follow this procedure, when you leave this place, when you go to sleep, you will be unable to wake up and die of dehydration or malnutrition. If you forcibly stay awake, you will die of sleep deprivation. 3. Enter the third room. 3A. If it resembles a kitchen, walk straight to the sink, turn on the faucet and look straight ahead at the wall in front of you and count to 10. If the water stops by itself, you are safe and free to leave. If the water continues to flow, look up at the ceiling with your eyes closed, make an about turn and exit this room. Failure to do so will result in you seeing hallucinations of headless and limbless apparitions, who wail endlessly until you go mad and die of suicide. 3B. If it resembles a living room, walk straight to the single sofa, sit on it, close only your left eye and count to 8. Keep your left eye closed and with your right open eye, look straight ahead. If a green man enters the room, you are safe and free to leave. If any other color man or anything other than a green man enters the room, you will die instantly. If you keep your left eye open, close the right eye instead or open your left eye at any time during the encounter, you will find yourself unable to get up from the sofa. You will hear voices and laughter and crying endlessly and you will go crazy and die where you are seated. If you see any other type of sofa instead of a single one, accept your fate. The tall man will enter soon and slowly peel your skin off of you. 3C. If it resembles a bathroom, walk straight to the tub, turn on the faucet and fill it to exactly halfway, lay in it with all your clothes on and count to 19. 3CI. If the bath water gets cool or cold, you will be unable to get out of the tub. You will deteriorate and eventually die from being in the water too long. 3C2. If the bath water gets warm or hot, accept your fate. The tall man will come in and dispose of you. 3C3. If the bath water remains at the same temperature, stand up straight, step out of the tub and exit the bathroom backwards. Failure to follow this procedure will result in you feeling your body on fire until you die of perceived pain. 3D. If it resembles a room that is not a kitchen, living room or bathroom, close your eyes and say aloud, "I should not have come in. I am sorry," then exit the room backwards in exactly 5 steps. Failure to follow this procedure or any error in these steps would result in you being followed by an eyeless old woman for the rest of your days. If you successfully make it out of this house of 3 rooms, the exit door will automatically open and count yourself lucky. Only 1% of previous visitors made it out with no incident. Failure to follow this in the sequence it is outlined will result in you staying in this house of 3 rooms and slowly evolving into a headless or limbless apparition that haunts this house forever.